welcome to Worship Leader Wednesday. This is a series here at Worship Tutorials where we help you with practical advice that you can put into practice right now as a worship leader. We also have a product called the Worship Manual. It is an online course. Volume 1 is available. It's over 50 videos, over 9 hours of content. Links below if you want more information on that. Today we're talking about the fact that you and I are too old.
You're too old!
This one hits real close to home.
This is a young man's game!
This one, Fuller, I think I'm going to retire.
You're too old or you're too young, right? That's what we hear a lot. But today we're talking about you are too old. I've heard it. I know a lot.
How old are you, Fuller?
That is none of your business. I'll be 45 in just a month.
I'm 40. Fuller's 45.
Old, man.
We're reaching the end here.
But I've been told I look 38, so I'll take it. So, So a lot of us deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of our folks who've been doing ministry for a long time feel that weight of being outdated.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant
is a word that I think plagues. It keeps people up at night.
Yeah.
And I know there are a lot of viewers on YouTube that are watching these videos who are a lot older than us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're looking at us going, those young kids.
They're probably doing it better than we're doing it.
And then there's all these teenagers looking at us going, who are those old balding men telling us?
Why don't we want to listen to them?
Yeah, seriously.
Male pattern baldness is coming for you too.
Yes, it is. That's right. So you're too old. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to address the elephant in the room, which is, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you're not too old. Okay?
Correct.
That's a lie.
Thank you for saying that.
A lot of people...
I personally feel better.
Yeah. A lot of people... And also the same goes, you're not too young. Age has very little to do with success, and age has very little to do... Age has nothing to do with what God wants to do through you. However, your age and your status and your situation in life will affect how God uses you. Right? And so we're going to talk about a little bit of that today, but we're going to also talk about some practical things that we can do to quote-unquote stay relevant. You can still be old in age and feel young. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about some practical things that we've done to try to kind of stay relevant and stay in the game, if you will. Yeah. Because for me personally, I lead a team of worship leaders that are all younger than me.
Yeah.
And so...
You're what, about 15?
I'm a good 15.
You and I are within 5 years of one another, but everybody else is like 10 years younger.
The next oldest guy on our team is 15 years younger than me. It would be easy for me to get really irrelevant. Yeah. And for them to look at me and go, what is this guy going to teach me? Yeah. And so one of the things I started doing about 6 years ago was I decided I was not going to become old and washed up. I was going to stay young. I was going to stay relevant with my own brand and with my own style.
At least to the best of his ability.
To the best of my ability. And you look at some successful folks that have been doing it a while, like Paul Baloche and Chris Tomlin's starting to get up there and stuff. These guys are at the peak of their game. They're Paul Baloche is like in his 50s, but he's still like one of the most amazing people in worship leader that everyone looks at, and the last thing they think is, wow, that guy's old. They think that guy's amazing. He's awesome.
Like him.
He's relevant. They want to hang out with him. They want to learn from him because he's been able to stay relevant.
So point number 1 is this. This is something Fuller and I do all the time. Hang out with young people.
Younger than you.
We have to because they're on staff.
That's right. You don't have to, though.
Hang out with people who are younger than you. And preferably a lot younger.
Yeah.
Like if we were to hang out with like high school students, that would
be outside of the
college or college students.
Yep.
Right? If say we were involved in a high school or college ministry, I guarantee you that would change sort of our outlook on life.
Yeah.
And our perspective on life, and maybe the way people ultimately see us. Probably for the better. Young people get a bad rap. Millennials get a bad rap, but it's not true. You should hang out with some and learn about what really makes young people passionate, makes them tick. But you got to hang out with young people if you want to remain relevant with younger people.
And it's really more about generational, right? Not necessarily age, but just generations under you and generations above you. If you're young, you want to hang out with generations above you. But I mean, every generation is going, that's not real music. We have a tendency to hold on what's dear to us and just shut everything off. That's the first sign that you're getting old. So, like I always said, well, if I'm going to gain influence with these guys, I'm going to probably shop at the same places they shop. To get some clothes where they shop at within my within my own genre, right? I'm not going to be wearing skinny jeans, but I'm not gonna wear the same clothes I wore in high school either, And so I think part of it is just saying to the world, I understand what is going on here, and I am going to be relevant. You see it a lot, which is why I always wear jeans and a black shirt, because guess what? It hasn't gone out of style for 65 years.
James Dean, he was more of a white
shirt and jeans. Either way, very interchangeable. But it's not about the look as it is about connecting with people. And people want to, being able to connect with people is a huge open door to being able to lead them.
Yeah.
If I want to lead young men, they need to know I'm relevant. Because if I'm not relevant and I don't understand their world, they're not going to listen to what I say. The same with music. Like, I remember when his song Young and Free came out, and I was like, I don't know about this, dude. It's all like synth and all this weird
dance and techno.
Yeah, but that was like my choice, because that's where worship was headed, man. You know, and so I could either shut it off and tell all these kids, yeah, your music is terrible, or I could embrace it and learn about it and then start to understand why they're passionate about that, why they connect with that. And then it's just one more thing that allows me to connect with them.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, okay. I mean, I still listen to the Bee Gees, right? Yeah. But I'm not going, hey, we should do some Bee Gees songs.
People listen to Bee Gees too, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, the cool ones do.
Like I said earlier, younger people often get stereotyped in a negative way by older people.
Yes.
Especially millennials. Millennials have a negative stereotype.
They have a bad rap.
But what I think you would find if you spent time with young people is young people can be extremely hopeful and optimistic.
Yes.
In a way, and maybe even altruistic, and they really want to make a difference in the world. I say this all the time in these videos, I feel like. But they want to be a part of something that means something. And I think a lot of times the older we get, it's a lot easier for us to become cynical, for our outlook on life to be more negative.
Yeah.
Like, everything's going down the drain, you know, down the toilet or whatever. And that is a terrible outlook to have.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible tells us over and over that we're supposed to be full of joy and supposed to be full of hope, right? And that we're to spread that far and wide in the name of Jesus, but like we're supposed to be full of joy and full of hope. And it also tells us that the world is going to get a whole lot worse, right? And
Guaranteed.
So a lot of times older people can look at what's happening in the world. If you're in the United States, you can look at like what's happening in politics and the way that like our nation is just pitted against each other. At least that's what the news.
Yeah.
You know, when I spend time with my neighbors, I don't feel that way.
Yeah, I know, right?
But when I watch the news, I do. Does that tell you something?
Yeah.
But I think the older we get, like it's much easier for us to become negative people.
Yeah.
And that is against what the Bible teaches us to be. And again, the Bible tells us that our world is going to just get worse, right? And so when we spend time with younger people, that positivity, that hope that a lot of younger people have to make a difference in the world rubs off on us in a good way. And it's really important.
I always, when I hang out with young people, I have this mindset. I will exchange wisdom for knowledge. I will give you wisdom if you give me knowledge. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit.
Yeah.
Wisdom is knowing that it shouldn't be in a fruit salad. Right? And so as a more mature, experienced worship leader, I can teach younger generations wisdom.
Yeah.
I can teach them how to apply knowledge. But there's a lot of things they know about the world and technology that I don't know.
Right.
So and I always go, hey, I'll exchange wisdom for knowledge. Yeah. And so they're learning things about the experience, about the things you've gained, and then you're learning things about what's happening in the world. What is this thing called Twitter? What is this thing called YouTube? You know, and so there's all of this.
It's Instagram now.
Yeah, it's Instagram.
But I
it's
think
Snapchat.
Instagram
it's all
is
this
probably
stuff.
getting a little old these days.
Well, it is,
Something's
and how are we gonna know? The young kids are going to tell us.
Right.
Oh, my son will be, Dad, no one does that anymore.
Yeah,
that's old. Yeah.
You're on
like,
Facebook?
Yeah.
Facebook.
What? That's old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's this idea, and at the end of the day, it's just a choice. You know, do you want to just separate yourself, or do you want to really be connected with the people that are probably going to be in your congregation and maybe even on stage with you, hopefully?
Point number 2 is really something we've been talking about a little bit, but it's more specific to music that you listen to.
Yeah.
Listen to music that is outside of what you typically listen to, and listen to music that more young people listen to. Make Spotify playlists of music that is outside your comfort zone a little bit,
or have a young person make you playlists.
Yes.
That's a great tip. Find the youngest
the
kid on your team that you think is like really connected, and go, hey, will you make me a Spotify playlist? and send it to me.
They'll be like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
They will love it.
Yeah, and you'll have 30 bands you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And you'll probably hear music that you hate.
Right.
But
at first,
if you give it a chance, you're going to start to unlock another level, and it's going to make you a better musician.
Yeah.
Tone is a big thing for guitar players.
Yeah.
You know, outdated tones. So let this serve as a PSA, a public service announcement to all of the dad rock guys. It's great to have dad rock, but you got to update your tones. Yeah. Like the sounds, the guitar sounds from 1987 no longer work for today's modern world. If you want to be relevant, you will find that when you start changing your mindset, your musicianship goes to a whole nother level.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
And you'll probably find that as you listen to music that you might not listen to otherwise, you'll really start to appreciate it and maybe end up really liking some of it.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. Actually, we talked about that in the worship manual, do we not?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and how it will sort of give you a wider appreciation for music, make you a better musician.
The third tip to staying relevant is read.
Oh yeah.
Read a lot of books. There is so much information out there, so many people who are experts giving away, maybe not free, but really cheap information that could change your life. I've been reading a bunch of books on finances and money, reading books like written by billionaires, and I'm like, I should listen to probably what they have to say.
Yeah,
Dave
Ramsey knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, Dave Ramsey. He's a pretty smart guy. The proof is in the pudding. And so there's so much resource out there to expand your mind. And again, stay relevant. It's not being something you're not, but just learning new things. Learn things that you didn't know 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know how the world is working. Know how media and marketing work. Know how business works. Being relevant is this idea of just understanding how the world works now. Because if you understand how the world works now, you'll fall into less traps and you'll be able to lead people because the people you're leading are all dealing with that same stuff.
All right, we got a bonus fourth tip for you for staying relevant as you get a little up there in age. And this one hits really close to home. Something that I've been, and Fuller I know too, has been trying to work on this for a long time. And it's hard. And that's to stay physically fit, mentally fit as well, which is what we've kind of been talking about all this time. But your level of physical fitness plays a huge impact.
Exercise.
In this. Right?
It's a hard one.
Yeah. And
what you eat, what
affects,
you... Yeah.
And it affects every facet of your life. Your physical appearance tells people a lot about you before you ever open your mouth, share information. You might have this wealth of knowledge and wisdom, talent to share with the world, but if your physical appearance tells them a different story, you're putting the wrong foot forward.
Yeah.
And this can be a hard pill to swallow for me personally because, I mean, just to be perfectly open with you, like I'm about 50 or 60 pounds overweight, and it's something that I've wanted to, that I've needed to take care of.
And you're tackling it. You're mentally tackling it. You're approaching it, and you might not have the solution. You might not have the answer, but it's there. You're thinking about it, and you know that it's important. And I think that is the thing that is so important in this whole idea is that we can just be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not going to nail all of them. We're not going to be experts at all of them. Yeah. But being able to be honest with yourself and know that these things are important. For me, when I had my fourth child, and I realized I'm gonna be 65 when Jonah graduates high school.
Yeah.
65. Guess what? When he's in high school, he's gonna be wanting to throw football, and he's gonna be running, and it's like I have to be able to do that stuff. And so go outside, go run, go walk.
And it's not just a matter of your appearance.
No, it's about your physical health.
Worship involved.
Very physical.
If you're involved in like our church, for example, we show up at 6:15. If you're the worship leader, you show up probably at 5:30, right? And 2 services.
You're out of there by 1.
There, it's a full day starting, and not
a lot
only
of standing.
Physically, it's not like it's grueling, but it's not like you're not sitting. But mentally and emotionally, it is very demanding. Yeah. Right? And if your physical fitness is way out of check, it's going to be way more difficult for you to pull that off. And it translates to like singing as well.
Yeah.
Because you're using muscles. And if those muscles are atrophied. That's the word.
Yeah, atrophied.
You're not going to be as good of a vocalist as you could be.
That's totally true.
You know what I mean? And it affects everything.
You might be sitting there. This might be a tough pill to swallow. Might be a few ouch points along the way.
For me,
These are all things that I wrestle with every day.
Me too.
I'm simply sharing with you the same thing I talk to myself about every day. And I think as leaders, if we can just grasp the fact that we got to grow. It's not about an age, it's not about a number, it's about growing. And the moment we stop growing and we just become blah, that's when we stop being relevant.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I want to be relevant until I'm in my grave.
Yeah.
I don't want a 10-year season of my life where I'm just in my bed. Or don't do it. You can't really do anything
Not
with
making
dad.
much of an impact.
Yeah. You know, he's at the house, but he doesn't really go anywhere anymore or do anything. Like you were talking about your workout class and the 70-year-old woman just running circles around you guys.
I joined a CrossFit gym.
Yeah, tell that story.
If you don't know CrossFit, it's pretty physically demanding.
It's kind of like torture.
Workout. It's the way I learned about it was when the movie 300 came out. It's what those actors did to look the way they did in 300, basically. And so I joined a CrossFit gym, and they scale it back for fitness level. Well, they'd have to for me.
Gerard Butler.
But yeah. And so I joined this like foundations class where they sort of teach you all the basic movements and you do these workouts and stuff. It's me, another guy about our age, about a 60-year-old woman or 65-year-old woman, and like a 70-year-old woman. And the 60-year-old woman smokes us every time. Like the only thing I've been able to beat her at so far is deadlifting.
Because she weighs like 90 pounds.
But otherwise, dude, she crushes all of us.
She's in shape. It's like, that's what I want for my 60s.
Yeah.
And this is not about where you're at now. This is about where you're going to be. You know, so if you're 50, 60, you still got a lot of left in the tank.
Oh,
and it's like, I don't want to
Your
be...
impact on the world moving forward could be massive.
Yes, and if you can stay relevant and stay connected, then you will be living a fantastic life, but you'll also be able to leave a legacy for the people that are coming behind you.
Yeah, let us know if you have comments or concerns or questions about this stuff. Let us know in the comments.
You might want to disable the comments on this
Let us know. Oh, no. Bring them on. Let us know in the comments below.
Yes.
Hey, we're going to post these videos over on Facebook at the WT Leaders Facebook group. Link for that below if you want to join. Love to see you there. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already here to the Worst Tutorials YouTube channel. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.